My name is Abe Stein. I'm the audio director at the Gambit Game Lab, and I am the product owner of the Sophocles project. So my background in philosophy and classics kind of informed this project and the generation of this project.
Hi, I'm Sarah Varelli. I'm the development director for the Gambit Lab, and I was the game director for the Sophocles project, which meant my job was to make sure that the game that came out was a good, fun game and fully finished by the end of it. My background is from the game industry. I've done QA, I've done production, and yeah.
So the Sophocles project started with conversations with Doris Roosh, who is a researcher at Gambit looking into metaphor and in games and kind of abstract communication through games, and at the same time we were looking at textual adaptation. So how can you take a source like a play or like a traditional text and adapt it for game? And so we took these three plays by Sophocles, his Oedipus cycle, his Theban plays. We were looking at how we can take themes from those plays and adapt them for the game space.
Well, for Oedipus Rex, which was the first one we tackled, the first big problem left to us was how do we make this game one people would want to play? Oedipus Rex is a tragedy. No matter what he does, he loses. Players don't like that kind of ending. They don't like knowing that they're doomed from the beginning. They don't want to feel like they're doomed from the beginning. They want to have a chance to be able to win. But that's not in the spirit of the play. So we really had to try and figure out a way that would make the player feel like they were making meaningful choices, they were doing things in the game, and yet still bring them some inevitability in the ending. So that was a big challenge on that game.
Both games that we developed over the course of the summer ended up kind of explicitly breaking down the fourth wall between the game and the player, and so forcing the player to interact with the game not just as an agent controlling that game space, but also bringing aspects of their playerness to the game itself, and having that inform the experience. And it's something that you don't see games do very elegantly or very well, and it's something that sort of just was a byproduct of our process, but one now that has become more important as we've looked at the project. The more you can elicit a personal response from someone with a work you create, in some senses the deeper it is. So that has been a fortunate effect.
I think it came out really well. I wish we had a slightly deeper and longer ending. We spent a lot of time working on the gameplay and getting the gameplay just right, because that was actually the more interesting part. That's the part that the player is actually interacting with and working with. I wish the ending had a little bit more depth to it, but it still managed to convey what we wanted to convey in the ending.